What up, gang? It's a deck profile. We got a deck profile. We have a cat in the background. We have a very messy background. But what y'all are here for is Titans, which means we're just going to get straight into it. It was one of the two decks that have been very requested from me. What does it look like in AD01? I got second place at a local with this one, but it was low power local. Don't read too much into it. As always, we start with the eggs. It's 4 of the current only Titan egg that we have. So we run 4 of it. Use it to sometimes play the thing. Most people are probably replacing this as soon as we get the new. Then for the rookies, we have 3 of the Chronomon Destiny draw, 3 of Goblimon for reduction, and then 4 of the best rookie, which is the one that searches top 3. Cannot add Tamers, but adds 2 of basically everything else. And then trash is 1 card as well, so it still can kind of like pitch and set up from there. Very, very good card. This is the one that you sometimes want to try and keep in hand late game, so that way if your hand does start to get thin, this is a way to kind of use it. Being able to cycle this when you don't have, when your opponent hasn't played on board with you, being able to cycle with the Snow Gobbly does matter quite a bit, just so that way you can kind of play, because once you get past like turn 2, turn 3, you're not usually using the 4s for their draw effect, so using the Snow Gobbly to make sure you're not going 2- in hand is very, very useful. Then we are a purple deck, so 1 Labra. You could turn Labra into whichever flavor of Goblimon like more of, but this does add Shaman, which matters, and you know, whilst it sucks to evolve for higher cost, the Labra does give you back the memory when you do full combo. It is there. These are the rookie ratios that have worked for me. I think I'm on a slightly lower rookie ratio than last deck profile. That's because we're on some greedy stuff. But yeah, this is still going to be largely similar to the last deck profile, which will be linked in the cards if you haven't seen it already. Ratios here are slightly different to the rookies. We're on 2 red, 4 green, and 3 blue. Edd Eddy. Suspend and lock against not blue. Very, very good. Yes, it's not true lock, but it, you know, can't unsuspend during unsuspend phase, which turns off a lot of decks, not all of them, but you know, enough of them. Jamming and blocker, very, very useful. You could argue that you can maybe be on 4 of these, because jamming and blocker is really useful when swinging the Titamon, just because you don't get to alliance. You will be swinging 11k 2 checks quite frequently. Depending on what you're playing into, low to the ground aggro does lose to this. So we have this, and then Fugas for the mirror, and also just to try and take pesky things off board, so that way when you're getting into your Titamon Scorbalucci's, you're not having to waste as much time dealing with small things. And again, if they put a searcher on board, I would rather pop the searcher than spend it. So 2 of him still quite useful. And then we are a purple deck, so we're on 1 Ginkaku promote because he evolves for 1 over any of these to give them rush, or he is a demon, so he is something that can be played off of the Titamon, and you can play him off of Astana. So no, you can't play him off of Astana, but evolves for 1 over anything that you play out. So if you need the extra damage, are a purple deck. Then speaking of, we are a purple deck. We are a purple deck, so one of our cards is on the ban list. We play it. It basically doubles as a additional copy of Scorbalucci. Because he can only go into dark animals and undead, this exists mostly for the slingshot combo, which is partially why it got hit. But it just is an extra copy of these. If you know, on second stack, or if you get to pitch, you get to use this to climb into a Scorbalucci that's already in trash. It doesn't go into anything else because the Titamon Scorbalucci-mon is not undead. Despite Scorbalucci being the undead in it, it's more focused around the Titamon on top. So isn't undead, not able to go into anything else. He basically only exists the 5th copy of this, but it does give you some flexibility on what you use him for. That is not technically strictly true. Skullseidramon is also an undead, so it's another copy of this. And one of the nice things about using Scorbalucci-mon to go into the Skullseidra is you can pitch this off of the effect of your level 4. Use the egg to go into, use the Scorbalucci-mon to go into the Skullseidramon, and then use the inherit now that you're back to being a Titan to go into a Titamon that way. So you can use this to cheat through this, because one of the things that is really annoying is when you're swinging at attack step is because this doesn't trash. You can't use the trash effect to, like, since you're not trashing a card from hand, you can't then use the inherit to climb up to the 6. So sometimes you end up just swinging a 7, which is 7k level 5, which is not usually what you want. So by pitching Skullbaluchimon during the combo, you get to use Skullbaluchimon to go into Digimon, then use the inherit to go into the Titamon and continue as normal. So does fix a couple of the pain points with the Digimon. But yeah, mostly just exists as part of Slingshot. And then we are on one more Parrotmon, which is our anti-purple removal card. Just sometimes you go into it. A little annoying, obviously, that he's just mono green, but you know, we're using it because it's non-deletion removal. Then, because we are scamming people, we're on to Paildramon. I would say that doesn't need much more explanation, but it caught a lot of people by surprise, which is the goal. And you know, you're on 3 Hyoga, 4 Ogre. So that's a lot of targets for Paildramon. Shout out to King of Knights. So originally, so obviously I built my list. He built his list right before our locals, like 5 minutes before our local, and just threw Chimera in so he could DNA any of the 4s. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's really sick. I like that. But what if we just committed to high roll and doing 2 damage? So you give up a little bit of consistency from it not being any 2 colors, but if you manage to sequence them, which usually will be able to, you should be able to end on 2 colors for Paildramon, which are pretty sick, I can't lie. So Paildramon is in there. You probably don't need it as 2. There's a lot of level 5s in this deck, a lot of high-end stuff. So if you want to cut one of them, so be it. But yeah, this Paildramon is very funny. We're on 4 Titamon because it's the only good one, and 1 Anubis because, say it with me, they're a purple deck. But shout out to my very talented friend, King of Knights, that dude and Minerva, you know, Johnny, Derek, and Seb, they came through with my playset of finalist stamp. So W fanboy. Not so W don't have the full set of alts for Titamon Skullbaluchi. Probably going to be after a second one. Don't know that we're on 3 once we get the new Titamon, but for now, you know, he's still the guy that you're trying to make. Once you do your Titamon thing, you end on this guy. And yeah, if he was undead, you'd be able to make him off the banned Skullbaluchi, but hey, it does what it needs to do. You can make this off of Slingshot, and yeah, card's crazy. If you don't know what the Slingshot combo is, there was the really convoluted one that used the egg from before, but like, you don't have to go as hard as that. You can kind of make it a lot simpler. We'll go over like a shortened version of it. First with the Tamers there, we're going to get 1 Dan Yuki, because Dan Kanan, because that's what I have. And then 3 Arsonate and 2 Map, because we are a purple deck. Using Dan Kanan to cast option cards at the end of turn. We'll honestly just probably show them off now. 4 Invasion of Titans and 1 Jack Raid, because we are a purple deck. Yeah, if you can pass them 3, Dan Kanan gives you the extra value for the draw 2 trash 2, and then being able to set up additional bodies later and make the board massive. You know the drill. But the Slingshot, there's 2 versions. There's the one that if you hit it, they deserve to get hit by it. And then there's like a slightly more reasonable version that I think you can pull off more consistently, especially thanks to the limited Skullbaluchi. So the idea is you have memory setter and you have the like a Skullbaluchi. Well, the freak one is have anything that has the egg under it. They pass you less than 3, so if they pass you 2 here, we get to bot deck the Arsonate, play a 4, and then the 4 pitches this to do its thing, use the egg to play it, and then assembly to pass the memory gate over. So this will be cost -2, cost -6, cost 8, 14 minus 8, 6. We pass 4, we do the whole thing, and then we Mata to bring it back to start of turn timing. If that happens to you, you probably deserved it from allowing a body to stick on board and then passing them the minimum to do the thing. They had this in hand, has That's on you. The other thing that's a little bit more reasonable, same sort, well, don't have to be on board already, is first you summon El Gatito. And you probably hard cut to when she leaves, which actually was not that long. Yeah, so you get to Asana play out the Yogamon or anything else, and then you get to pitch the Skull Belushi, which can then pick up a different Skull Belushi from trash to evolve, and then it goes, and then you get to evolve the Titamon, get to play out your body or whatever. So you're still paying the cost for the Evo into Skull Belushi, and then Hyoga pay the cost, go to 2, Matt Ashita bring us back to 3. This is much more reasonable. Yes, this doesn't have rush, but if you made a Ginkaku remote, happy days. If you roll for 4, you get to send it on Titamon Skull Belushi or anything like that. But making a Titamon basically for free, thanks to the limited Skull Belushi, is a lot more reasonable. That's really why this got hit, and also to just not restrict future design space with Plutomon. But we don't know what Plutomon does yet. It's not been revealed at the time of recording. Yeah, this is what Titans looks like. Best believe when Bossman Pluto is there, I will be back with either this plus Plutomon or Plutomon.deck. Whichever one is what we get for GT20 whatever, and we get the new Titamon, I will be back on this. So probably be playing it a couple more weeks. You'll see it on the channel. Hopefully you'll see Pyodramon come up and actually do something. Yeah, I'm now going to go record the Ghost deck profile. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.